Hey TPK, welcome to the Showdown show. I have with me today Altios
Hello.
and Kluk.
Hello.
Great job. Kluk, longtime TPK member. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
When did you start playing TPK? Because I remember you being around like the entire history, it seems like, but maybe you haven't joined that early.
So I joined before you were even the admin on TPK.
Yep, so you were there for Kron.
Yes, that's his name. I've been thinking, trying to remember what his name was. And I remember once the site went down, me and you were talking on, I want to say either Yahoo Messenger we were talking on, or Skype or something, and you were talking about getting the code from him and making the RPG your own. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Turns out I did that. Yeah, dude, the other day I was thinking, this Kron guy, he wasn't really in it for the RPG, he was just kind of he was doing a drive-by thing.
Yeah.
I wonder what he would think of TPK now, It's kind of interesting. He's well out of the RPG scene.
Yeah, it's been almost 10 years since then?
Yeah. 9.
It's been a long time.
Same for Greg Oil. I haven't seen him in forever. But yeah, think about it's come a long way since the mechanics of original TPK. Everybody except for me use iMacros, and it's not like there are any logs.
Yeah. That just goes to show, how much things can change over time and develop, especially if somebody, is putting in the effort or trying to.
Yeah, I just remember being very sad when I found out that D-King was using iMacros the whole time, and I was looking up to him as this great, trainer on the original TPK. And I was so happy when he finally joined my TPK again after not being in touch for a year. And then he immediately got banned for cheating because I had logs at that point.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll ask you this. Now we're into the TPK blue stage or late TPK green. You were gone for several years, and I would see you come by and kind of say hello. I'd say the last few months you actually have been back full force now. So I wanted to ask, why'd you come back, number one? And then number two, was there anything that me and Satch or staff members have worked on in the game that was really compelling compared to the TPK of old? Or was it just the community?
I would stop by every couple of months, and I just kind of hopped on, I would say, the beginning of December. And I saw that there was a reset and everything coming up, or the shops were changing. And I was just ooh, you know what? Let me go and try to get some of the cool stuff before it, expires. Then you guys came out with the Christmas event, which I thought was really cool because it kind of combined all the different aspects of the game and really, motivated me to try to, do secret dungeon, to do map exploring and all that other stuff. And I was actually able to manage to get a Cloud Laddie set and was searching for Mew in the Safari Zone from level 1 to level 230 map level, and I still didn't find one.
And that's a lot of mapping.
Kind of irked me.
The early map levels are rough.
It was quite arduous, and I was really impressed with the Christmas event.
That's actually really nice to hear because the work that we put into the events really do pay off. A lot of times I feel bad that I just wasted all this time doing this one event that only happens once. I could have done coding on a different feature instead. But I do know that, people like you enjoy the events. So that's awesome to hear.
Yeah, and it was actually because I was even able, even though I'd only been playing for 2 or 3 weeks at that point, I placed in probably the top 7 or 8 in total gifts sent for the Christmas event.
Right, it puts everybody on an even playing field, and then that lets you, get a jump start by working hard, which is awesome. All right, so another question about you coming back to the game. Regardless of anything you may have had before, and I'm not really familiar with your progress, so I don't really know how much you had. how would you feel the new player experience is in terms of being able to catch up and be relevant in the game?
Right. So I'm gonna give a quick shout out to my boy Tyzor here because he joined, I want to say, 2 or 3 days after I started playing. I've seen the progress he's made because I've had, a couple of breaks here and there since I've been back where I've been too busy with work or anything to really get on. But, I've seen he's been going pretty steady and, he's kind of made a little bit of name for himself.
Yeah, for sure. He's been going really hard. Definitely a competent player. So, and he's found his little niche in battle points as well, which is great to see. Well, all right. Thank you for the Q&A session.
Of course.
I want to move on to the main topic today, which is high level mining.
Oh,
this is gonna be a bit of a slog, and I'm really interested in Altios' opinions here because I have some of these features I haven't talked to him a whole lot about. I'm looking at the mining rankings. We've got Gronk, who's been rank 1 miner for a very long time. He's sitting at level 2k right now. Altios, 1900. Scroll down a little bit. I'm 1495. I'm rank 7. It's respectable. But past 1450, you've unlocked all the ores. Past 1605, you've unlocked every possible special mine, which is a obsidian excavation mine. That's 1605. After that, besides mine times, there is zero incentive to continue leveling up your mining level. And pretty much all 7 of these people have been asking me, hey, can we get some more content?
So, Bosch, the obvious next step is to add more ores, right?
Thank you for your acting ability. Yes, that is the number one suggestion I get is just add more ores.
Forehead.
I'm not saying that that's a bad suggestion. Like, it seems pretty reasonable, right? I enjoyed unlocking more ores. I like the fact that different ores have different rates that you can get them at. I like the different experience values. But to me, as a game designer, I feel like that's not really addressing the issue. Let's say I add 5 more ores, and it goes up to level 2500. Well, once people hit 2500, they're still done with the system. Adding more ores is just adding more of the same content. Like, yes, there will be different rates to get them at, different experience values, and different images, but beyond that, it's still the same, concept.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on that, you guys?
I mean,
actually, maybe would you like to see more ores and you disagree with my opinion?
I'll let Kluk answer first.
All right, so I think that added more ores, and it went up to level 2500 or whatever. There's only so much money that you can spend, and once you start adding in those new furnaces and the new combo rads, it's going to be kind of hard to obtain those, with the way that the money is right now. So once you add a certain point, it might even end up being unachievable. I really only think that you would need just a couple more ores to kind of complete it.
Well, there will be ores in the middle for sure. 2500 is already obtainable. The miners at the top level, like I said before, there's no incentive to go much higher, so nobody's really going hard on antimatter to power level up. It's really possible. People could be at 2500 by now if they really wanted to be. Would you say that, Satch?
Oh yeah, I stopped antimatter a couple months ago. I've only mined it during XP boosts, just for fun, to get my level up. I'm trying to slowly catch up to Gronk, but I don't know. It's not too enticing at this point now that he broke 2k.
And even a mining master title, it's just kind of I'll still do it if somebody gives me a sprite for it.
It's pretty much just going to be me and Gronk as contenders.
Right. It's just it's not that great of an incentive to level up.
So the more I think about adding more ores, the more it feels like I'm sitting on both sides of the coin, because while yes, I do agree it would be really monotonous to just continue the progression loop of mining, upgrading pickaxes, go to the next ore, keep mining. I do think it was a bit of an oversight when we initially picked these ores by putting antimatter not necessarily putting it last, but putting a radioactive ore as the last one. I feel like we should have put obsidian as the last one, but then we would have had to move unub somewhere else so they're not next to each other. That'd be a huge slog of people not having money if they didn't want to mine radioactive ores.
Maybe there's something to be said as well for a ore that is valid for XP gain at the high level. Obsidian's worse than uranium.
Correct.
It's like, and uranium is unlocked hundreds of levels before. Billions of XP before. I gave my reasons why I don't think there should be more ores, but to be clear, I could see myself doing it.
There's a lot of work that would have to go through with it because we'd have to update the shops to also include these ores to be actually usable. You're not just going to use it for pickaxes and smelting. You'd want to be able to do something else with it. So we'd have to integrate it with the shops, and then, I don't know, it'd just be a lot to think about with adding them.
I do want to say, you guys in the comments, hit me up if you have a great idea for an ore name, because basically at this point, I'm going to have to make up names for ores at this point. I'm like, just, Einsteinium, a la Motherlode Goldium by XGen Studios.
Rainbow ores.
Yeah, rainbow.
Mining at the end of the rainbow.
Oh my god, like spirit ores.
We better unlock Tungsten.
Wait a second, we need a soulless ore, and it's a radioactive ore.
That's actually not a bad idea.
You have to get gold, and then you have to go to the soulless machine to soulless it to upgrade your pickaxe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not writing that one down.
You kind of lost me there.
Okay. So I have two huge ideas that are not adding more ores to address high-level mining. And the first one seems like a simple change, but it actually has pretty far repercussions. And that is to cap pickaxe levels at plus 99. So if I go to my obsidian right now, you'll see I'm plus 63 / plus 20. That's plus 83. It's not the 83 that I want to change, it's the 63. So once you reach level 99, you won't be able to go to 100, 101, 102.
You can only do it for the clan.
Clan would also be capped at 99. So your total pickaxe level would be 198 if you could get that high. So there's a couple reasons for this. Number one, once you're past 99, the levels just start getting less and less impactful. 100 to 110, that's like a 10% increase. It's not very much. Like, it does add up. Like, Gronk is at 140 gold. That is a big difference from 99. But considering how many millions of gold he put into that, it's not really like a huge payout. Like, it's going to take a while to make that back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to butt in here. We had this similar issue, but it was way more obvious if you actually thought about it. But on TPK Green, when we had the clan money boost, where you could pay however much money and it just kept scaling up to get a 1% increase in money earned, it passed, I think it was +2 or +3. It was a very low number. It just wasn't worth investing in it because you'd have to do so many battles in order to pay it off. Just for the extra 1%, if you were, so say it cost $100 to get a 1% increase, you'd have to do 100 battles to be able to pay it off. But in the case of green, 1% of like 50k was what, 500, and then getting say +7 money, I think was like 300k or several mil or something like that.
It was like 300 mil.
Yeah,
money was different.
Money scaled up very quickly, and it just wasn't worth it. So mining would be in a similar sense. It might feel better to get an upgrade here and there, but if you were able to stay at like a cap, then you wouldn't feel the need to just have to burn millions of ore just to get a tiny increase. Another thing that I would like about this is that it would also allow some kind of like a ceiling for progression, so it's not like the rich get richer just because they can mine more. Like, you're going to be capped, so the amount you earn in an hour wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be dependent on your mining level, because anyone with the +99 pickaxe would earn the same amount in an hour regardless of mining level. So I think that's a nice way to even it out and have a more level playing ground.
And still make it be hard to get.
Right.
Why does this address high-level mining? Well, I think that this gives a incentive to continue mining once you have unlocked all the ores. There is a sense of like actual achievement getting plus 99 all ores. You know, that is a actual thing you can obtain. You can't go any more past it. So it's another thing that you can unlock, so to speak. Gives more of an incentive to sink into clans, because I wouldn't say they don't care about clan picks, but at the high levels, it's kind of like whatever, you know, I'm just going to keep doing personals. But at a certain point, you know, you just can't do any more salt. Like, you're at plus 99 already.
Yeah.
So an idea for that, once you get to, say, that cap 99, should be maybe like an option to almost prestige it, where it resets you down to level 0 or whatever, and you get some type of reward from it. But if you prestige, you can still get like the full clan boost, since you know you've already worked on it and done whatever for it, that you still get that bonus too.
Well, that's an interesting idea, I guess. The issue is people could just trade the ores again, you know, but it would cost a lot. You know what? Honestly, I think that might be a better idea than my plus 99 cap thing that Altios suggested. So my idea was, once you're at 99, your pickaxes are going to break. So I was going to say, pay like 10 million ores to make your pickaxe unbreakable. But what if instead you did this prestige thing? So where once you prestiged, you'd had to go back to plus 99, but then your pickaxes would never break ever.
Oh,
interesting.
That would really make it worth it.
So you'd have to do it all again, and that would be the price.
So
I could get down with that.
Oops. Oh, creator doesn't know their commands. So that's 58 million ores, and then maybe 40 million bars, or 4 million bars, excuse me. And then I was going to say 10 million ores, so it's only 6 times more. Honestly, not that much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, for some ores.
Yeah, okay, Gronk, easy. It must be easy to say it, mining level 2k.
Yes.
Sick.
Well, I don't really have anything else to say on that topic. We don't need to keep going in circles, but any final thoughts? I'm going to consider the prestige idea.
I do like meshing both of the ideas together about having a way to make your pickaxe unbreakable, but if you just made it like a flat cost, I do like that, but I think having a prestige mechanic to where you would have to work your way up again would also be really cool. Granted, again, like you said, you can just, you know, stockpile ahead of time and get a quick upgrade.
Which is fine, that's good. You know, again, it's a fixed cost of ores.
Power to the player, yeah.
It would also be really cool to see people with 30 million ores saved up. That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe that would make you get titles for that too, right? For having the most of an ore?
For having mined
the most mined.
Not currently.
I see.
Gronk pretty much has them all. I have Obsidian, and I'm going for Salt eventually, which Gronk is repping right now, and it's getting my goal a little bit. Those ore titles are very hard to get because of the time it takes and the pickaxe level it takes.
Yeah.
So Gronk has 12 ore titles. It's quite a bit.
Yeah.
12 out of 20.
And he doesn't have any radioactives.
It's okay, I've got the one that counts. Actually, I have 3 of the radioactive ones.
That's Unab?
No, that's antimatter. I have uranium and unub as well, though.
So, my second idea is a lot more complicated, but I think this one is actually going to give some more unlockables past level 2000. So this idea is exploration. It originally came out of a brainstorming session where I said the phrase mining without mining. So this is only available to high-level players, and when you're doing exploration, you get a button which just says explore. A la mines, it says mine. And when you explore, you don't get any ores. It's going to still count to your fatigue timer, so you can't mine at the same time. You do get captchas where you get ores, but you're not going to actually get ores from this. Instead, you're going to get this new thing called telemetries, and you're also going to get artifacts. You also get mining XP and clan XP, but no ores. And I guess it would count for your times mined as well. Like it's still a mining feature, but you're not getting any ores. So let's start with artifacts, which is the simple thing. Basically, it's just fossils, but it's not actually a fossil. So maybe it'll be a nugget, maybe it'll be a statue, but you're gonna sell these things somewhere. I don't know where yet, and it's gonna give in-game money. My goal is that you would get more money from this than from fossils. So it would be like a significant amount of money versus fossils, which is kind of passive, where you don't really think about it. I would hope that when you do exploration, you're like, oh, this is a significant amount of money I get. And then the other thing is ore telemetries. So my idea here is that when you explore, you are looking for where ores are in the mines. So when you find a copper telemetry in the lore, it's an area of the mine that contains copper ore. So you find telemetries with different ores, and you can assemble a mining plan, which you can use to launch a special mine. I swear this makes sense. So when you launch a special mine, it's available for everyone, like the special mines are. You can start it at any time. And the more telemetries you put on, the longer it lasts. And you can use this to develop your own special mines. In case you don't know, special mines, they're a more efficient way of mining ores. So if you do one special mine with 2 ores, you actually get about like 1.4, 1.3 times each ore. So it ends up coming out to more than just mining 1 click of one ore, 1 click of another ore. Does that make any sense, what I've just said so far?
Yes.
This was really the first time that I've heard exactly what happens when you're using the excavation mines, because I've never had a chance to really use them myself, as I'm only mining level 622 right now.
Yeah, this is definitely a high-level mechanic.
Excavation mines are jank.
They're special mines. Excavation mines are a form of special mine. So excavation mine, you can mine a bunch at once. It doesn't actually give you more ores, but it does allow you to, live your life a little more and not have to focus on mining.
Yuck.
Which is also a bonus. It's just a different kind of bonus. It's not like efficient.
A life?
Yeah. I have a life sometimes.
Me and Satch can't relate.
Something's better than nothing, I guess. All right, so I want to go through my first draft of balancing for this. So I do want to rename these, but at level 750, you unlock the first tier of excavation mine, or exploration mine, where you get to find salt through iron telemetries. At 1750, you unlock the mid tier, which gives you coal to silver, and also lead. 2500 is the core tier, which gives you gold through obsidian, and also fermium. And then 3000 gives you the nuclear tier, which is all of rad ores.
So right off the bat, I feel like the level curve is a bit high. Like, yes, 3000 is a goal that you could work for, but only a small handful of people are going to make that by the time, blue is at the end of its lifespan.
True.
So I feel like an easier way to set the curve is to do like 625 and then just multiples. So it curves up evenly instead of going from 750 to plus 1000 on it.
It kind of scales downward in a weird way.
Yeah, and I'd have to say I kind of agree with Altios there, because I've been pretty much mining since I came back, and I'm only up to 622, and that's with me, putting an effort on it. Not everybody's really putting an effort into mining.
Yeah.
As I'm almost on the first page of the rankings.
And you're specifically going for levels, right?
Yeah, I only mine radioactive.
Okay, so I want to also hear, do you guys have any thoughts on how I can continue to extend levels here as well? Because, what happens after you get 2500? Is there anything I can do? I mean, it has to end at some point, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Really, maybe adding a couple more like options into the shop, maybe a few more of the like the harder to obtain things.
We've already done shops, like I want something new to spend your ores on. Oh, I forgot about this whole segment. The assembling a mining plan thing, I was going to make that cost ores and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what yet, but it would be like a fairly significant ore sink to launch your special mine.
So how would the special mine operate? Would it just be like a regular special mine?
One option is to make it for everyone, and then another option is to say it's just for you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about either one of those?
Well, it depends on like the values. Like you have to give some kind of a background to it. Like if you're investing 1 million, say cobalt, to make a mining plan for cobalt, and it would be silly, obviously, if it didn't pay out more than that to you for spending all that time finding the telemetry and then investing the ore that you need to summon it or to make the plan.
I was thinking about it being like always a couple lower ores, like coal and gold and stuff. Gold for the higher tier ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff that people have a ton of already, and you can just sink some of that into.
Okay.
Not necessarily like cobalt for cobalt. I think it's kind of dumb. Although there is something to be said about launching your own excavation mine. Like I would do that all the time. Well, okay, what if I did this? What if you could control who gets your special mine? So you can pick yourself, you can pick your clan, or you can pick everyone. And you say, here's the mining plan, send it to these people.
Okay.
You can choose who gets your mining plan.
I don't know. I'm not getting a good feel out of this because if your clan isn't like on par with you in levels and pickaxe levels, then it's not going to be as efficient as if you were to just give it to yourself. Like, yeah, it would be quicker to drain and get all the ores out of it that you want, but it wouldn't be as efficient coming from my standpoint.
So you're saying if everybody's always going to choose yourself anyway, then why even bother?
Right.
And I agree, it does seem kind of crappy to spend both your time looking for these things and your hard-earned ore telemetries just to let Grok mine it all.
That's why I'm just a little bit skeptical of this so far, as I don't have numbers to really look at. So I'm just like, okay.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I'm aware. But it's like you want a big resource commitment and a time commitment to this. So like how does it pan out from there? Like how do you make it so it doesn't feel like it's just a waste of time or like on par with if you were just mining it regularly at best? You'd want to make it feel special, especially as an end game activity. You'd want it to be like really paying out, I would feel, for having a time commitment like that where you're just giving up, if it takes 10 hours to make a mining plan, that's 10 hours of mines that you could have done on anything else.
Well, the money certainly offsets it. At least some. Like, that has to be considered.
Right. So the artifacts would help out. I think that's a nice way to help with it, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet.
Well, yeah, your comments are definitely saying to me that I need more numbers to really... I'm going to have to make sure that it's worth your time. Like, for reals.
Yeah.
Okay, let's assume that it is. Then what's your thoughts?
I think it would be cool. Depending on if the pickaxe cap goes through along with this, if they were to come out together, then I personally would look more into messing with my pickaxes a bit, maybe get a couple to plus 99 and prestige them or cap them or whatever the mechanic may be. But if it's only this, then obviously I would want to dive right into it because it's new content. But I don't know. It's an interesting concept, but it needs more fleshing out to make it feel like it's worth the time to spend.
I want to close by saying that, like, this is a kind of a hard problem my new features need to not change the core of mining, which is just you're pressing a single button and you're waiting 3 minutes and you're pressing another button. I can't have anything that's active. Anything that makes you think is kind of hard. Like, I don't want to make you think too hard. It's just a button, you know?
Do I click the button or do I leave it?
I can think of all kinds of like cool, mechanics, but I can't really do them because it's not mining anymore. It's a different thing.
Right. Mining has always been the idle game feel for TPK.
And I genuinely enjoy that aspect. I like that people can play like that.
Absolutely.
They don't have to play hardcore if they don't want to. But yeah, this is my ideas. So if any of you have other ideas, I'd love to hear them. Send me your ore names. I want to see some funny ones.
Oh boy.
Well, and my furnaces are done, and I'm done with the show.
Oh man, I think mine are too. Crap.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh no, I fixed them. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.